perfect kitchen, a perfect house. A spotless life, a spotless house. A perfect wife, a perfect spouse. A spotless heart, a spotless couch. In life, we're faced with all these things every day. The idea of no noise, no texture, just everything made to be a blur. Detail lost to this idea of what we are as humans, becoming something different, changing in ways that it was never meant to. We live as we are because we are scared of who we are. We live in fear because of our own dishonesty. We are insecure because of our own dishonesty. If you could trust every single thing that every person you ever saw said to you, you would not doubt. You would live your life knowing that every single moment was brought on by someone's genuine affection and touch. Because that is what we are as humans. We love. We exist in a way that is unique to us. But often, we live as the rest of the animals do. We prance and play, but always with a slight fearfulness. We act as armadillos, rolling away at the slightest hint of danger. A danger that wouldn't be there if our natures were different. But they aren't, and this is the way we are. Each of us a quilt, made up of all of our past experiences, barely held together by this idea that we are complete, that we are limitless. But there's always something hanging over the edge. Always something that seeps through the cracks and lets you know when you're waiting on your deathbed that what you've done isn't enough. That what you've done doesn't go far. Doesn't go far into finding his touch. We live as a fragile species, as we may. We act as strong. We act as weak. But never is there an acknowledgement of what we truly are and what we truly should love to seek. As a human, I am weak. I am weak in a way that is not expressed in daily life. Weak in a way that few know of. But even if they did, they wouldn't acknowledge for fear of being singled out. Perfection is a myth. Perfection is not in your heart. Humans are creatures of texture, of worth, of knowingness, of things that we figured out that we can't quite explain, points that we can't quite back up but still resonate with others just the same. Because we are each other. We are human. We are a species that through our inherent flaws becomes all the more beautiful, somehow, despite the scars. As I walk through life, I feel no shame in saying something or playing something that makes someone's feelings come to light. For I've been there too, and I'll be there once again. I'll be there every night, perhaps until the very end. Because to cry, to let an emotion out, is perhaps the most purely human thing that one could do. To admit their fault, to admit the imperfection and the texture that lies beneath the makeup and the crown. We are imperfect. We are much like each other. We copy, we learn, we try new things, we try to grow, but there's always an underlying current of something just beyond the door. My testimony is as a man reborn unto the swallows, unto this world, knowing that there is no shame in being honest about what follows. No shame in saying what for. No shame in crying when it's not behind closed doors, because it is our perfection. It is our imperfect perfect. It is the fault line that makes us human. The tears that fall show the deepest parts of who we are. And if a song plays and it starts the tears flowing, then you should stay where you are and make attempts for this land to become chosen by you and by every single thing you do. Because it does not show in my actions. It does not show in what I do that I am imperfect just like you. I hide it just the same. But the truth lies waiting to pounce. And it's not to be scared of, because pain is the road to a better life. Pain is the road to that fake idea of a perfect wife. Nothing in this life comes free. And yet we expect to just carry on, to just let our doubts fill our gold, fake crowns to the brim and not overflow. But they will. And it shows in the crying behind closed doors. It shows in the screaming into pillows. It shows in those nights of anguish. We are all human. And to cry is no more shameful than merely to exist. For the man who gets up a seventh time and says he will try more is more righteous than the man who falls once and gives up, beckons his fate to what occurs behind closed doors. There's a myth running through this land. This idea that everything we are can just be drawn in the sand, whittled down to a spirit that can be represented by ones and zeros, by the things we make. But we are more than that. We are more than anything we could possibly make. And our tears, though they may fall carrying a hint of salt, are so much more than the substance that falls. So much more than the salty taste of crying in the dark. And if I made someone cry, and if you made someone cry, well, I'd hope it would be in a spirit of plenty. If you would treat each man righteously, that does not mean he would not cry, because the truth is a fear. But it's not a healthy one. Because the further we go in life, the more truths we accept, the better off we are. But we avoid. Always avoid. What is profound goes back in our schedules until it's forgotten about. Until it's in the midst of the ocean within our crown. But it's all fake. All lies. Because each one of us has sinned. Each one of us has carried on in life not accepting the purity and the love that is waiting for us in this life. You are worthy, and every single person you met is too. We're all on the same journey, and to cry is no more shameful than to carry on and exist as you do. Thank you for watching.